Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're watching this right now, you're not here by accident. There's something in your life you're ready to shift, something you're ready to break out of. Maybe you feel stuck. Stuck in your job, stuck in your finances, stuck in your mindset. Well, today I'm going to show you exactly how to get unstuck. Not by motivation, not by hype, but by transformation. First, let me tell you this. You're not stuck because the devil's after you. You're not stuck because your boss didn't promote you. You're not stuck because your city doesn't have opportunity. You're stuck because you believed a lie about who you are. See, every action you take is filtered through the identity you've adopted. If you keep telling yourself, I'm just trying to figure it out, you will always be trying and never becoming. Identity comes before strategy. You don't need new tactics, you need a new truth. And here's the truth, your words create your world. Life and death aren't in the situation, they're in your tongue. If you keep saying, I don't know what to do, then don't be surprised when confusion becomes your companion. But when you say, God is giving me wisdom right now, then clarity becomes your currency. Your mouth is a manufacturing plant. What are you building with it? You think you're stuck? No, you're not stuck. You're in the gym of life. And every delay you're facing is just God increasing your capacity. You're not waiting on him. He's waiting on you to grow into the level of blessing he already has for you. That relationship that didn't work out. That deal that didn't go through, that's not rejection. That's refinement. And once you get that, you stop acting based on your feelings and start moving based on vision. People say, I'm waiting to feel ready. Listen, feelings are a poor GPS. Vision is the map. You move on revelation, not convince. The Red Sea didn't part until Moses moved forward. Some of you are standing there with a staff in your hand, crying out when God already said, go. And let's talk about selling, because if you can't sell, you'll always settle. I'm not talking about slimy sales. I'm talking about communicating your God-given value. Until you see yourself as valuable, you'll keep discounting your life to please people who were never assigned to your destiny. Every single day you've got to sell yourself on the vision God gave you. Don't pitch your fear. Pitch your future. Because here's the last truth. Money moves to value like water moves to gravity. You're not broke because you don't work hard. You're broke because you haven't leveraged the value inside of you. You are the offer. And when you start solving problems for others, compensation will start chasing you. Not because you're chasing money, but because you're finally walking in purpose. So if you want to get unstuck, change your identity, change your language, trust process, take action from vision, believe in your value, and serve at a higher level. That's how you go from stuck to soaring. Thanks for watching. If this helped you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's ready to get free. Let's go. You're not stuck because you don't have enough money, time, or connections. You're stuck because you're trying to change your A strategy without changing your E identity. Most people are trying to solve a soul-level issue with surface-level tactics. They're buying books, joining programs, tweaking routines, but still feel stuck. Why? Because your actions will never outperform your self-concept. You act in alignment with who you believe you are, not with what we know you should do. If deep down you believe you're average, you'll subconsciously sabotage anything that looks like greatness. If you see yourself as someone who always struggles, your decisions will bend towards struggle, even when opportunity is right in front of you. This is not about motivation. This is about your why identity thermostat. Your life can't rise above the setting you've locked it at. So even if you get a breakthrough, if your identity hasn't changed, you'll bring yourself back down to the level of your belief. That's why God doesn't start with instruction. He starts with identity. Before he told Gideon to fight, he called him a mighty man of valor. Before David slayed Goliath, he had to see himself differently than how everyone else saw him. Your situation doesn't have to change for your identity to shift. In fact, your identity has to shift before your situation can change. It's not, I'll believe it when I see it. It's, I'll see it when I believe it. I'll start speaking to yourself like the person you want to become, not the person you're trying to leave behind. Stop saying, I'm trying to get it together. That's the language of someone who still sees themselves as scattered. Start saying, I'm walking in wisdom, clarity, and purpose every day. That's the language of someone whose actions are catching up to their vision. When you shift your identity, your choices follow. You won't have to force discipline. It'll feel natural. You won't have to fake confidence. It'll rise from a deeper place. Because now your behavior is aligned with your belief. That's how you truly get unstuck. Not by effort alone, but by transformation. You don't need a new path. You need to become the version of you who walks it boldly. Once you are the person who wins, The winning becomes automatic. The words you speak are far more powerful than most people realize. They don't just describe your reality. They create your reality. This is not some vague feel-good idea. It's a spiritual law. The Bible says, a life and death are in the power of the tongue. Every sentence you say is like planting a seed in your mind and heart, and those seeds grow into your experiences. If you keep talking about being stuck, about how things never work out, about how you're not good enough or how the opportunities just aren't there, guess what? You're watering those weeds every single day. You're nourishing the very things that keep you trapped. But here's the truth that can change everything. You have the power to shift your entire life by changing the way you talk to yourself and about yourself. When you start speaking words of faith, words of victory, words of growth, even if you don't see it yet, you are aligning yourself with what's possible. That's where the breakthrough begins. Because your words are like a broadcast signal. When you say, I am a success. I am growing every day. My breakthrough is on the way. You're not lying. You're declaring what you're building. You're calling your future into your present moment. And the universe, your subconscious mind, and your spirit respond to that signal. It's important to realize that this isn't about pretending or being fake. It's about faith, believing in what you cannot yet see. It's about speaking in alignment with your vision and the promises you hold in your heart. You see, stuckness often comes from giving power to negative words, whether they come from outside or inside. The words of doubt, fear, and limitation can be louder than the whispers of your dreams. But you get to decide which voice you listen to. And if you don't start speaking in a way that supports your dreams, you will remain bound by what you've been told or what you believed in the past. So begin to monitor your self-talk and the conversations you allow around you. Start speaking with authority over your life. Say, I am equipped, I am capable, I am moving forward. Make your tongue your best friend, not your worst enemy. Because when your words line up with your faith and your vision, you're no longer stuck. You're stepping into the life you were meant to live, and your words become the foundation for your freedom. Absolutely. Here's an expanded version of Keynote 3 in the style you want. When we talk about being stuck, most people think it's a sign that something is wrong. Like God is punishing them or life is just unfair. But I want you to hear this deep truth on God is not trying to fix your situation because it's broken. He's trying to grow your capacity to handle the blessing that's coming. The reason you feel stuck is not because you're being held back, but because you haven't been prepared enough yet for what's ahead. The delay, the struggle, the waiting, it's all part of your growth process. Think about it. When you lift weights at the gym, the pain and resistance don't mean the weights are trying to hurt you. They mean your muscles are getting stronger. That same principle applies to your life. The obstacles, the setbacks, the seasons where you feel like you're going nowhere. They are the spiritual and mental weights designed to build you up. If you didn't have those challenges, you wouldn't have the strength to carry the greater responsibilities or the larger blessings God has planned for you. Many people get stuck because they see their current circumstances as the final chapter. But those circumstances are just the you training ground. The trials aren't a signal that you've failed. They are invitations to grow, to stretch, and to develop the wisdom and faith necessary to operate at the next level. You're not waiting on God to move. You're being prepared to move with Him when He does. So instead of complaining about the wait, embrace it. Ask yourself, what am I learning right now? How is this shaping me to be better? When you understand that God's primary goal isn't just to solve your problems, but to increase your capacity, your mindset changes. Instead of being frustrated, you become expectant. Instead of feeling stuck, you begin to see that every no, or not yet, is a step closer to your breakthrough. Your identity shifts from victim to victor, from stuck to student, and that's a powerful position to operate from. So the next time you feel stuck, don't get discouraged. Know that this is a season of growth and preparation. God is expanding your ability to receive, to handle, and to multiply what's coming your way. Your breakthrough is not just about changing your circumstances. It's about becoming the person who can walk in those new circumstances with confidence and faith. This is how you get unstuck, by seeing your situation through the lens of growth, not limitation. One of the biggest reasons people stuck is because they wait for the perfect moment. Waiting on motivation, waiting on circumstances to line up, waiting on a feeling that says, now is the time. But here's the truth, you need to heart motivation is unreliable. It's like the wind. Sometimes it blows strong, sometimes it's calm, and if you depend on it, you'll never move consistently. The key to getting unstuck is learning to take action based not on how you feel, but based on the vision you have for your life. Vision is a powerful thing because it's a clear picture of the future God has placed inside of you. It's the revelation that no matter what your current reality looks like, there is a greater story being written. When you act on vision, you stop reacting to your current circumstances and start moving toward your divine destiny. You don't wait to feel ready or wait for the conditions to be perfect. Instead, you move in faith, trusting that every step you take will bring you closer to the breakthrough you're seeking. Think about the story of Moses and the Red Sea. The Israelites were trapped between Pharaoh's army and the sea. Logically, it looked impossible to get through. Yet Moses didn't wait for the sea to part before he moved. He stepped forward in faith with his staff raised, and that action triggered the miracle. If Moses waited to feel ready or waited for the perfect moment, the whole nation would have been lost. His movement was based on vision, the promise from God, and that moved the waters. The same principle applies to your life. Waiting for motivation or a perfect feeling is a trap. It's a way the enemy keeps you stuck. When you focus on your vision, your why, your purpose, it propels you beyond your current feelings and circumstances. It gives you the strength to take imperfect action, and that imperfect action creates momentum. Momentum leads to progress, and progress builds confidence. So get clear on your vision, write it down. Speak it out loud every day. Let that vision be bigger than your excuses and bigger than your fears. When you move from vision, you align yourself with the power that brings life and growth. This is how you get unstuck, one faithful step at a time toward what God has already promised you. Don't wait for motivation, move on relation. That's where freedom begins. Selling is not just a business skill. It's a life skill. If you want to get unstuck in life, you have to learn how to sell. Not just products or services, but yourself, your vision, your ideas, and your value. Here's the truth many people don't want to admitting: if you don't know how to sell what you have to offer, you'll always be settling for less than you deserve. You'll be stuck in jobs you hate, relationships that drain you, and opportunities that barely pay the bills. That's because the world rewards value that's communicated clearly and confidently. Selling isn't about being pushy or manipulative. It's about understanding your worth so deeply that you can confidently show others how they benefit from what you bring to the table. When you believe in your own value, your energy changes, your words change, and your results change. The reason many people stay stuck is that they undervalue themselves. They don't see how their unique gifts, experiences, and perspectives can solve problems for others. And when you don't see your value, you don't sell confidently. You sell cheap, or worse, you don't sell at all. To get unstuck, you must sell yourself on your dream every single day. That means speaking your vision out loud, rehearsing your why, and reminding yourself of the here to create. You have to become your own greatest fan and your own best salesperson. When you do this, you stop waiting for external validation and start creating your own momentum. People are drawn to confidence and clarity, and when you communicate your value well, you open doors that were previously closed. Also, selling is about serving. When you shift your mindset from "I'm trying to get something" to "here to help solve problems," selling becomes easy and natural. You're not pushing, you're offering solutions. The money will follow because people want to invest in those who can genuinely help them. When you learn to sell this way, you won't just get unstuck. You'll elevate yourself to a whole new level of success. So, if you want to break free from stuckness, start by mastering the art of selling yourself. Invest time in learning how to communicate your value with clarity and conviction. Because until you do, you'll keep selling for less than God's best for you. Money moves to value like water moves to gravity. Think about that for a moment. Money is not random. It's not about luck or waiting for the right time. It is attracted to value, real value. The reason why some people are stuck financially is not because they don't work hard, but because they haven't created enough value for the marketplace to respond. You might be grinding every day, putting in hours, but if what you're offering doesn't solve a problem or meet a need, money will stay far away. It's like trying a cup with a hole in it. No matter how much water you pour, it will never hold. Value is what people are willing to pay for, and real value comes from serving others at a higher level. When you shift your mindset from "how can I get paid?" to "how can I create something so valuable that people can't help but pay for it?" you begin to step into a new level of abundance. This is why successful entrepreneurs, leaders, and influencers focus first on increasing their own capacity, learning skills, improving their character, and understanding the needs of their audience. Because that's how they raise their value. You see, your income is a direct reflection of the value you provide. The marketplace responds to value like a magnet. If you want to move from stuck to free, from scarcity to abundance, you've got to increase your value first. This is why education, mentorship, and continuous growth are non-negotiables. When you invest in yourself, you increase your value and open the door for money to flow to you naturally. And it's not just about technical skills, it's about the impact you create. How many lives are you changing? What problems are you solving? The more lives you serve, and the more value you bring, and the more resources will come to you. Money doesn't follow effort, it follows results. So stop trading your time for pennies. Start thinking about how you can leverage your unique talents, gifts, and experiences to create something valuable that people need. Remember, God has already blessed you with everything you need to ally you in a way that moves money toward you. Your job is to discover that, develop, and deliver it consistently. That's the secret. When you do, you won't be stuck anymore. Money will begin to move to you like water rushing downhill, unstoppable and abundant. So today, I challenge you to stop chasing money and start creating value. Remember, the power to get unstuck is already inside you. It's your value, your identity, your faith, and your action. When you commit to increasing your value and serving others at a higher level, everything else will line up behind it. You are not here to be stuck. You are here to soar. So rise up, step into your purpose, and watch how money and opportunity naturally flow to you. I believe in you, and I'm rooting for your breakthrough. Thank you for being here. If this message moved you, subscribe and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's get unstuck together and live the life we were made to live.